All right. What's going on, everybody? Everybody's out there like I'm a little late or something like that. I don't know if I get it. Uh okay. Maybe just maybe this once. I'll let you in on a little secret. I just woke up about 10 minutes ago. So, yeah, I fell asleep. Won't lie
You
to you.
sleep?
I do.
I thought you just stayed
Horrible.
awake eternally.
Horrible. Yeah, I dozed off in my chair. Bad juju. It did happen though. Excuse me. So anyway, Gizzard Gary, Fowl Territory, 350, believe it or not, 350 of these silly things. All right. And it is Monday, March the 16th. Tomorrow is St. Patrick's Day, guys. Heck yeah. All right. So, real quick, let me bring on my panel this evening. First, let's introduce all the way from the Unloaded Media Channel. He comes to us from the state of West Virginia, and he's somewhat unloaded. Let's say hello to Rich White.
Yo,
Yo. So, glad to have you aboard. Also, let's welcome from the Show Me State, my neighbor next door, over to the right and down a little bit. Uh, He's got this show called the Saturday Night Guns, Beer, and Therapy. Say hello to Hillbilly Up.
Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm wishing I was loaded. No,
Time.
don't
There's
they have
still
this stuff in your neck of the woods called moonshine? I mean, I don't know if you probably
I
find
said
some.
all home with Scotsman. That's Bruce Moore.
uh, glad to have you here. Last but not least, coming to us from the Keystone State. Hey, he's right on time. Um, he also does stuff on his channel too. All kinds of stuff. Some we can't even mention. Guns and barbecue, everybody.
Good evening. Actually, I haven't done anything on my channel in a while except for lives.
And you haven't even done that all the time. So.
Nope, not all the time. I'm gonna say life has been eventful, to say the least.
It
So,
happens.
yo,
Hey, we're glad to have you here. So let's see who we got out there first. First off, we got Rich White out there and in here, out there in the chat. We got Alaska One Andy. We have the Saint 8146. Guns and barbecues out there. Pack Rats Attic is in the audience. Ronald Eastman also out there. Dale Pogue. There's Hillbilly Up. So far, our panel's out there in the chat. That's good that my panel is watching the show. That's important. J Delta 22NC is out there. Also, we got Ms. Packrat. Alex Parlin's out there. Ron 2A Matters. Packrat's Attic himself is out there. Vulcan Rumble. Boomstick is in the audience. And let's see. We got Fluffy 10 millimeter cheap guy out there. And Ozzy Orsborn is out there barking at the moon. I think I even said his name right. That's a good deal. Let's see. We got Smoking Joe out there in the audience. Stephen Sheets is also out there. Also, Denny's Plant-Based Journey is with us. And let's see. Woods is in the audience, all the way from the PNW. Gerald Muir is out there. And we have, let's see. I've almost lost track of who I've talked about and who I haven't. I'm way behind on the chat. Oh, that's what happens when you get started late. But hey, so if I miss you, I do apologize. Ozzy says tomorrow is election day. Wow. Did not know that. Gunpowder Beauty out there in the chat says, hey, Cluckers, meds kicked in. I'm going to bed. Have a great night. Going to be at work at 4 a.m. Okay. Well, hope you get to feeling better. Let's see. Gosh, lots of people out there. 27 people in the audience. Kentucky Rimfire Justin is out there. And the Gun Snob out there in the audience. And let's see. My gosh, you're coming in so fast. Can't hardly get them. So anyway, I think I got everybody. If I missed you, wave your hand out there in the audience, and I'll mention you. Didn't miss you on purpose. Wood says, "Happy birthday late, Rich White." That's right. Rich's birthday was just the other day. Would you turn 35?
Something like
that. Stephen Sheet says we got to wear green tomorrow. Is that only if you're Irish, or is that for everybody?
I don't know.
We got Hasbro out there in the audience. Denny says, yes, it's 5 a.m.-ish for me. Some of the streams go way too late for me. Gary keeps them short and sweet. Thank you, sir. I think I've been called that before, short and sweet. Sometimes that's not a good thing necessarily, but
Probably better than salty.
what the ladies call me, short and sweet. Yeah, I guess so. That might not be true. But anyway, what's going on, guys?
Yeah.
That exciting, huh? Gosh. It is Monday. It's a new week. Oh, I just missed TJ Fishing and Shooting. The Wonder from Down Under is out there. Wow. 33 people in the audience. By the way, if you want to enter the swag giveaway, the hashtag is #FT350. #FT350 for your chance to win a bunch of stickers. And I'm going to throw a couple patches in there too, per usual.
Heard of a Chevy 350, not an FT 350.
It's an FT 350. Yeah. I'm not sure what that means in car lingo. But yeah, I have owned a few vehicles with a 350. And a 305.
Was that the 1-ton Ford, the 350?
350?
Yeah.
Ford?
Yeah, the F350.
Oh. Okay. FT?
I think the 1-ton is the 250. The 350 is like or 250 is
I
a
thought
3/4.
150 was half ton, 250 is 3/4 ton.
Yeah, it might be.
350
That might be right.
because they also have a 550. That's
Well,
like
they have a 650 too.
something
So
like that.
yeah.
I'm sure we got some Ford people out there.
I did own an F-150 at one time. Was not the best pickup I ever owned by any means. Oh, I had a Ford Ranger too, so I have owned a Ford or two in my time. So
Then he says the 250 is the 3/4 and the 350 is the 1-ton.
Alex Parlin says, any news about Aegis? Nope, absolutely not. I have not heard anything from Aegis. They are alive. I know that much because I see them on social media. They have not responded to my emails. So, J Delta says, fix or repair daily. I know some other acronyms that Ford stands for, some of which really shouldn't say because they're not very nice. That's what my dad used to say.
My favorite one was Fiat. Fix it again, Tony.
Yeah, Fiats were notorious for having issues.
My dad used to say, effing old rebuilt Dodge.
Yeah, I've heard that one.
When Fiats were all the rage, my father and my uncle both bought a Fiat, and they both cursed them to the day they died. The cars, I mean.
First on race day, TJ says. Of course, that would come from the from the Australian. Let's see.
Yeah, I don't want to say what the one I heard for Pontiac is.
Oh no, no, don't go there. I know where you're going with that one. Found on road dead, Woods says. Found on Rucker dump. Wow. Danny says people like to badmouth Ford, but come out here to the oil field. We beat the snot out of our trucks, and almost everybody is running Ford F-250s.
Yeah, when I was working on the road, we had a lot of 350s and 550s and stuff, and with the diesel motors in them, and they did good.
Vulcan Rumble says cardboard Ayatollah is still missing. Some Ayatollahs have left Iran. Some Iranians believe IRGC have taken over and the religious are out. I don't know anything about that one. But yeah, you can make your own cardboard Ayatollah, I guess, if you want to. I got better things to do with cardboard than that. But
I'm waiting for someone to put it on one of those cardboard deals they use for competition. We got the A, B, and C, shooting zones or whatever. I'm imagining somebody will do it.
Pack Rat says all of our ambulances were Ford.
Yeah, they're Ford around here. Everybody has a Ford. The ambulances are Fords.
Boy, I couldn't tell you here. Sorry about that. I had to cough. Hasbro says right now it's freaking on recall daily. Wow.
Oh, hell, if you look at just about every brand, they have recalls.
That's about
constantly.
right, isn't it? Yeah. So, I know there's some people, if you haven't been around the channel in about a week, yeah, I have changed my channel memberships. So some people who had channel memberships, those are now gone away because I've gotten rid of my lowest 99-cent tier. So if you're on here and you're all of a sudden find yourself not a channel member, I just need you to sign back up. It's just gone up to $1.99. It's not like I'm making a mint off this, folks. So I'm not trying to get rid of everybody. So if it happens, I apologize. But yeah, I've tried to give everybody a week's notice on that. But I know some people haven't been in here in a while. So Boomstick says no one has made a decent truck since the 90s. Denny says their diesel engines run nonstop, lots of idle time on location, 100 to 200k miles per year. Too many people never use their truck as a truck and like them based on the radio and seats. Yeah, I love all those people. We used to see them out at work all the time in the parking lots, all these people with big old long trucks especially with the dualies on the back, and it's like, you don't even pull anything with that truck. Why do you have that?
Hey, they pull the most important trailer of all, ghost trailer.
I guess so.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
TJ says we no longer make Ford here, but we built Falcons that had a 4-liter inline 6 with a turbo that destroyed all V8s. Denny says emissions and diesel fuel is destroying diesel trucks. DEF is destroying diesel trucks, and the beds are as soft as a tin can. It's sad. That's about right.
DEF is just ludicrous. So
tell me about DEF.
It's designed to burn it off, the residual crap that goes through the filters and everything. The truck has to run hot. If for some reason the truck's not running hot enough, it's called regeneration. You then have to sit there and let your truck idle for 45 minutes while it burns off all the crap. So now you're having to sit and idle for 45 minutes and not running down the road. That's costing you money. Meanwhile, the government has federal statute that prohibits diesel trucks over, I think, 10,000 pounds from idling for more than 5 minutes. So now, technically, you'd be violating federal law, even though having to do that is necessary to keep the truck running, or else the truck will start to bog down and not run well, and you'll leave you stranded on the side of the road, even if you don't do that regen. So now you're blowing a bunch of crap out your exhaust pipe. But here's the thing. So they're saying this is to help with the diesel particulates getting blown into the air. So what's happening when they're doing this regen? You're just making it really hot and it's still blowing out the tailpipe. What the hell is it doing? And then, like, you're not going to be able to get away with deleting a 18-wheeler because of all the DOT regulations. But I know a lot of people that have pickups that they do the delete kits on, so they don't have to run the DEF anymore. And their fuel mileage nearly doubles because the truck's not having to run hot.
Yeah, and that's one of the beauties about diesels. They generally run cool anyhow. So
yeah.
All right, boy, y'all are way more knowledgeable than me on these subjects. So, let's see. Danny says, "Yep, shut down on the side of the road and regen. It's tractors, forklifts, and other equipment too. Stupid."
That's the worst place to have to regen, because if you're really blowing out the stuff, because that TPF filter, look, that's what they call it, is a TPF. I can't remember exactly. It's been a little while. But either way, that thing's getting really gummed up. And say you'll just leave this giant billowing white smoke that, and I mean, it's thick too. You can't hardly see through it at all. And then having to do that on the side of the highway, it's just all sorts of dangers waiting to happen.
Yeah. If they really wanted to solve the pollution problem, they put catalytic converters on all the volcanoes.
Yeah, they should.
Mm-hmm.
Fluffy says, DEF is a big old money scam for the government and corporations. Let's see. Denny says we are switching our forklifts to propane. DEF is destructive. We have mechanics at our yard daily. We are switching them all out by June. Tired of all the foolishness. Grim Reaper Review says, I just want a Toyota Hilux for $10,000. Good luck with that.
Yeah, if they ever were to bring the Hilux here, I guarantee you it'd probably be like 30 grand.
That'd be probably about the down payment for one.
The Hilux is extremely simple truck. There's not much to it.
Yeah.
Wood says bring back wing windows. I like that.
Well, I heard there's somebody that, or actually, no, is it what's his face with Amazon that is trying to make a vehicle where it's really bare bones.
Yeah, but it's an electric.
Yeah, but still, cutting it down to the bare bones and whatnot, it's cutting out a lot of the price. Like no radio, no, all the extra doodads that any vehicles come in with today, let alone electric vehicles. From what I understand, it's supposed to be getting rid of a lot of that. So the price is a lot cheaper.
Yeah, the prices are for an electric. Yeah, they're cheap for an electric, but they're expecting the price to be between 25 and 30,000 still.
That's not
the base model.
Super terrible.
No, for an electric, no. Electrics are ridiculously priced.
Now, isn't there, I don't know who makes it, I'm trying to remember, but I've seen on some YouTube videos, like this little foreign truck. Like it's
the Chinese ones?
Yeah, they're not real big, but I guess they get great gas mileage and really cheap.
Are you talking about those little Japanese ones?
Yeah, I don't
remember what they call them. There's a term for them, a class that they're in, but they don't bring them into this country because they say they don't meet the highway standards, and whatnot.
There's at least one that you can order off Amazon. They'll
Yeah, there's
deliver it.
people in this country that have them.
Comes on a pallet.
That's one of the problems with all this new emissions crap that they did was you got to get worse fuel mileage and whatnot the larger the truck was. That's what killed the Ranger, the S10, the Sonoma, all those. And you got like the Colorado. Like, is it a small truck theoretically? But you look at the doors and everything else on it, it's a full-size pickup.
Yeah, it's the same size as a Chevy Silverado was 10, 20 years ago.
Let's say, and that's why the pickups got so large again. Like, I've had 2 3/4 ton Chevys. One's an 03, one's an 05, the cat eyes, and love those trucks. But when like the 2008s rolled out, it looks small next to those. And I'm like, this is a 3/4 ton HD next to a 1500 made in 08 or 09. And like I said, it looks small.
You got to take into consideration too that all these trucks today are all crew cabs. You're going to be hard pressed unless you order one to find a pickup that's a single cab.
Mine was extended cab, 8-foot bed.
Yeah, you're going to be hard. You're not even going to find an extended cab. If you want an extended cab, you got to get crew cab because I don't even think they make the old style extended cabs anymore.
And somebody mentioned a while back, I don't remember who, somebody mentioned bring back bench seats. You remember bench seats in pickups?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Both of my trucks had bench seats. My S10 didn't, but that's an S10.
Ron Wayne's out there, by the way.
Hey, Ron.
Had cars with a bench seat in the front.
Had a 98 Grand Marquis with a bench seat in the front.
I still have trucks with a bench seat.
Danny says, my Colorado is as big as our full-size trucks when I was a kid. Well, except bed length. Only 5'2" instead of 6, 7, or 8 foot. Best part is I can hold 5 people with a crew cab.
Actually, I just saw a 16 2500 HD. The only reason, because I still need to find something that when I need to like go to Home Depot and get lumber or whatever, I have my own truck and I can just call somebody like, hey, you come and run me to the hardware store or something in my truck. I need to get some stuff. The only reason I didn't jump on that 2016 2500 HD is I don't know enough about the newer 6.0s because they started doing some funky stuff with them. And the older 6.0, that motor's bulletproof, but with a lot of the electrical issues that Chevy's been having and everything else. But anyways, that truck had a bench seat up front.
You know,
would you look at that?
When I was a kid, and I realized that was a long time ago, and we're talking about the olden times for most of you fellas. But I was a kid, pickups had bench seats. You were lucky if they had air. A lot of times they didn't have carpet in them. It was just basically rubber mats on the floor.
Gary, why would you have carpet on a Brontosaurus?
And because my uncle, because farmers would buy these things to work with. And a lot of times my uncle used to take his, when he'd, wash his truck, he'd open up the doors and hose out the inside too, because it just run right out, That's how you cleaned your vehicles. Get the mud off the floorboards. Can't do that with pickups now. My God.
Both of my 3/4 tons were work trucks for whatever company had purchased them and all that. My last one, I love that one because it actually had the 4-wheel drive on the floor. No push button crap. That was amazing. But both of those had like a vinyl flooring. So
column shifter, so you didn't have any column in the middle or anything. It's pretty much straight across all the way.
Mm-hmm.
All the way over. You could take that hose and you could just blow clear across and blow your water right out the other side. So
Yeah, that was the only problem was you had the transmission hump.
But yeah, back then pickups were either for work or for fun. You know, you took them out hunting and stuff like that. You didn't expect them to have the comforts of a car, you know, and stuff like that. And now, my first house didn't cost as much as what a new pickup.
Yeah.
That's an absolute fact.
Well, you can get a F-150 that if you didn't see the Ford thing on the front, you'd think it came out of a Lincoln factory.
Yeah. It's insane.
And I suppose I'd be all right if for them to offer that, but is that all people want now?
Well, people use them for family vehicles now.
Bring back
But what
station
if you
wagon.
don't want to? What if you just want a truck for what you used to use a truck for? You can't
Exactly.
get one.
You got a special. You can, but you got a special order. Like Ford, you can
You
get
can't afford it.
single. You can get a single cab with a 5.0 Coyote in it for maybe 60 grand, which for a pickup these days is on the cheaper side.
Yeah.
That
But
would
still,
be just a pure work pickup. I mean, but
what
that's it.
what person that just they're working a full-time job, but they've got a hobby farm, for example, and they're like, I want to get a new truck. That way, it's just done. It's over with. 60 grand is not affordable. It's nowhere near feasible.
No.
No, I'm not saying it is.
I mean, if you're just going to pick up grain and haul some square bales, you know, a few times a year, stuff like that. Granted, you don't need a brand new truck, but you know, it's not feasible.
No, if you don't need a super long bed, you could get a Ford Ranger for 30 something.
Well, used to, I mean, I'm sure you guys is probably this way, you know, across the Midwest at least. When I was growing up, you know, either a farmer or, you know, guys that did construction or whatever, they get them a new truck like every, like, you know, 4 or 5 years, you know, is feasible. They could afford it, you know.
I don't know. I'm not taking any digs though, but I'm just saying I'm not that old. All the farmers that I got to grow up around, they had their old trucks and they're like, I ain't getting another one. Had this one, you know, so long. And like, that's one thing I miss too, is being able to keep a vehicle that long. Like I had a 2014 Chevy Cruze before you know, all the blindness and all that fun crap happened. It got just shy of 100,000 miles. And because it was turboed, all the ductwork and everything for the turbo was coming loose. And I went to Chevy. I was like, hey, I got a 100,000 mile warranty. You know, code says this. They're like, oh, the turbo's not covered under the warranty. I'm like, how not? Like, you built a turboed engine. Like, that seems like it would be part of the powertrain.
Mm-hmm.
Not. And then it ended up throwing a bunch of oil into cylinder 2. And I mean, to do rings on that, it was ridiculous. I mean, they purposely are making vehicles that are just throwaways.
Yeah.
See, Denny says the wheelbase is a problem in the oil field. You need the width for the ruts in the field, and you need the length to smooth out some of the roads. You need the heavy frame for hauling.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I miss the good old pickups we had when I was younger. Let's see, what's this? Wood says, I know that truck. I'm no stranger to. I know that truck. It's a Ford effing Ranger. How about that? Ford effing Ranger. I had a Ford effing Ranger one time. I like that little truck. That was cool.
They won't bring that Ford effing Ranger Super Duty to this country. You got to go to Australia to get one of those, and Australians beat the hell out of those trucks, and they just keep going.
Now G Webbs is out there, and he says the Tahoe is a perfect vehicle. Let's see. He says, "Who needs a new truck to do chores? Barbecue is too fancy." G-Web says.
I didn't say I wanted a new truck to do chores.
What says he loves his 1998 Ranger. Mine was a 96. Backrat says, I like my Durango. Real quick, I want to acknowledge Ron 2A Matters. A few minutes ago, he put in an anniversary. He has been a channel member for 26 months. That's a long time, folks. Let's go ahead and give him the gong.
I seen G-Webs talk about the cash for clunkers. Wasn't that kind of their deal to get rid of a lot of the old vehicles too?
Yeah.
So people would have to buy new because
Yep.
they would pour that stuff down the engine so they can never be, rebuilt or whatever again.
Yeah, that was under the Obama administration.
Then he says, I'd take one of our old C10s or GMC Jimmy 4x4s right now if I could get one. I would love a square body truck, but all the people jacking them up have driven prices through the roof. Yeah.
Come up,
Don't even go there.
Yeah, basically what they did with Cash for Clunkers was they offered a lot of money in trade-in value on older cars, no matter what condition they were in. So the force, basically trick people into trading in their older cars instead of on a newer car, and then they took all the old cars and they destroyed them.
Well, the big problem with that was it killed the used car market.
Yeah.
To say now, trying to find a $500 beater with a heater, it's nearly impossible. I mean, anything that you would have called a beater with a heater now, $2,000. I'm like, this is insane. It's got 250,000 miles on it. You want $2,000? Bite me. It's going to blow a head gasket in 10,000 miles probably. It's amazing it hasn't yet.
TJ Fishing and Shooting says, my daughter bought a Ford Puma. It's a 1-liter turbo, very cheap to run with fuel prices over here. Guess I've never heard of that one. That must be something that's only available overseas.
Yeah, maybe.
With that small engine, yeah, probably, because that probably won't even be able to maintain highway speeds over here.
Didn't he talk about jacking up the prices? They're jacking up the trucks and then the prices. If you go to South Carolina, they only jack up the front end, buddy. Maybe you can get a better deal over there.
Oh, yeah, I've heard about that. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
What says, mine was owned by American Airlines previously. The kid I bought it from worked for American Airlines. He said they moved hoses at the airport with it. Denny says $2,000 to $3,000 for anything that basically starts and runs, but you wouldn't want to take it on a long drive.
Mm-hmm.
Mike McClune says Cash for Clunkers drove market prices up across the board. It was all part of the plan. Take more analog vehicles off the road. Hasbro says, have 201K on my 2016 F-150 Coyote 5.0. Great engine.
Yeah, the 5.0 Coyote, and it's still used by Ford, is one hell of an engine. It's been used for 20-some years now. And that truck that Hasbro's talking about, even with 200K miles on it, he could still get between 15 and 20 grand for that. The prices on trucks are so ridiculous.
Probably. New York Outcast is out there. He says, I can't even tell you what I did in a Ranger, but I was very surprised. I'm not going to ask. But
now, my mom has a 2018 Ford, crew cab, 4-wheel drive, half ton. Engine and everything's been great, but her biggest problem is those I can't think of the name right now. The deals that shut the air and heat off and all that stuff under the dash. Those little damper things, they're they tear up all the time.
Yeah,
and you spend a fortune because you got to pull the dash and the console and all that stuff. They got to pull all that out to change them.
Yeah, they design them that way.
Yeah, and it's been terrible. Good truck, but summertime blows out hot air. Wintertime
blend doors,
cold air.
Fluffy says they're blend doors.
I couldn't think of the name of them, but there's I think 5 of them in that thing.
Hasbro's got to go. Work comes very early. See y'all. Great show as usual. Gizzard Gary, thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
No.
Boomstick says Ford pickups now have plastic oil pans. Let that sink in. Wow.
That doesn't really bother me. Let's say the technology with plastic today is really, really good. Heat resistant, it's really durable. Let's say plastic's not as bad as it once was to hear being on a part like that.
That's what they said when they come out with the Vega with the aluminum block engines. It was the new coming thing. Worked great until they didn't.
Yeah, well, they're almost all the blocks are aluminum now.
My 6.0 had aluminum heads. Hated that. The jerkwad before me that changed the plugs didn't get iridium plugs, so they just corroded in. It was a son of a gun.
Denny says my 2013 GMC Canyon with the Hummer Straight 5 H2 engine was awesome. It had almost 200K and sold it for $8,500 when I bought my new Colorado. I see that guy driving it everywhere. G-Web says you can buy a $2,000 beater, sell it for parts, buy two more with profits, repeat that a few times, and buy any vehicle you want. Woods once again says, yeah, like I said, we want wing windows.
Depends on what state you're into. Like Pennsylvania, you sell enough cars in a year and they'll say, hey, you need to get a dealer's license. You sell another one and we're going to fine you.
Yeah, it's like, what, 4 or 5 cars and you got to have a license?
I don't know. I just know it happened to my buddy. Let's say he was buying and selling motorcycles and cars the one summer. And he wasn't even doing it on purpose. He would buy something and like, I like this. And then somebody would be like, want to sell that? And he's just like, cash talks. And then next thing you know, it was sold and he had something else. And but yeah, it was probably 4 or 5 times that he did that. And then he got a nice little letter from the state.
Denny said, I had a Vega, bought it for $500. I could never get it to run well. It constantly overheated and the transmission stunk. Michael Dunn's out there. He says, hello, hell, you need to take the whole front end off just to change headlights nowadays. Well, that's true.
If you wanted to make the Vega run well, it was like the old Maverick, not the truck, the actual car, the Maverick. You had to put a different engine in it. The stock engines, those things were going to run terrible. But you put a decent small V8 in one of those things, and you had yourself a hell of a car.
And then he says, same in Texas, you can only sell so many a year before the state will make you get a license. G-Web says, that is lame. It is lame.
Yep.
But, gosh, we could go on and on about vehicle issues, and we've just basically touched on trucks and stuff like that. Wood says, I had a 1973 Maverick in high school. That's when the Maverick was a car.
Mm-hmm.
I remember the old Ford Mavericks. They were a good car back in the day.
Put a big V6 or a small block V8 in one of those things, and you had a car that would run. They were light. And put a 351 in a Maverick. Holy hell, those things would go.
Now, if you wanted to have a good vehicle, I drove a Chevette in high school. Man, was I cool. Yeah. Got good mileage. That's about all it was good for.
Well, they were easy to get out of tight parking spots. Just get you and a couple of buddies to pick it up and move it.
Yeah. I had a couple of guys put mine up on a sidewalk once when I was in a tavern shooting pool. I come out to get in my vehicle and it wasn't in the parking spot. And then I looked, it was up on the sidewalk. Somebody had moved it for me. That was fun. Because when I got in to drive it off the sidewalk, of course, a cop come driving by right about the time I'm driving it off there. And I'm like, I looked at him. I said, I didn't put it up here. He didn't say nothing. It was fun.
Probably felt bad for you.
Probably. It's like, poor old guy. Of course, I used to do that with VW Bugs, which you used to see a lot of those when I was in school still. There were a lot of them on the road, and they were so light. It only took about 2 people to pick one of those up. Woods says Foss did 271, I think. Michael Dunn says, I'm loving my 14 Ram 1500 crew cab, my first truck in 50 years. Grim Reaper Review says, YouTube must be acting up today. I have to go back and forth from all to top to see the whole chat. Kentucky Rimfire Justin says, took me over an hour to change the battery in my stepson's car last week. Had to give up and watch a YouTube video to get the positive terminal off, and trust me, I am mechanically competent. Fluffy says, I used to wheel and deal with vehicles. I just wouldn't put it in my name. I just sold them. Rob D says, I had to tighten up my power steering belt today. Damn thing started squealing the other day. That gets annoying quick. Denny says the next vehicle I buy will be a used economy car after I retire. Then for any trip I need to go on, I'll rent a car. I'm not buying anything new or big again. G-Web says, we have a lot of VW bugs in Arizona. Really? I never owned a bug. I had friends in school that had them, though. There's a nice thing about one of those, like my Chevette, for example, when the battery would go dead on it, I could literally, if I could get it out on a street in neutral, I could literally walk beside it and run, get it up to speed, go in, pop the clutch, and start it. You could do it yourself. Pretty easy.
You wouldn't believe nowadays, like a lot of the garages, at least in this area, if somebody brings in a Volkswagen or something like that, they don't know how to set the points and do all this. They must usually send them to my dad's garage.
Fluffy says, my 18 Ram 2500 is nothing but a pain in the ass. It only has 72K on it, and I haven't driven it in 8 months. Michael Dunn says, people just want the VWs for the motor for their sandrails. Good luck finding one anymore.
Apparently, they're all in Arizona.
They must all be in Arizona.
Yeah,
of course, a lot of them, the motors were pretty much junk after a while. They were notorious for that. And weren't the most long-lived vehicle in the world, but they were cheap. But that's all right. Anyway, while we have a lull in the action, I want to remind everybody that Gear Websites is your source for every second matters, gun channels, gear, MOID, and more. They have patches, stickers, and other items, and every Friday is Free Patch Friday. So buy cool stuff at gearwebsites.com.
GearWebsites.com is your source for firearms-based playing cards and books. We also have mugs, shirts, and posters with designs that we've made live. Of course, we have patches. Every Friday is Free Patch Friday. We appreciate your support. Thank you for shopping at GearWebsites.com.
Let's see. Danny says, lots of bugs here, but they mostly stink, bite, and poison you, but that's a different kind of bug. Yeah, that is a different kind of bug. Mike McClune says VW Beetles were made in South America up until the early 2000s. G-Web says, thanks for the plugs. So let's go ahead now. Let's go ahead. We haven't done this in a while. Let's do this.
Lizard Larry's got something for you, Lizard Larry. Gonna give it to you, Lizard Larry. Gonna give it to you. Large prostate won't slow him down, chasing grandmas all over town. Got a sidekick named George the Cat. Lizard Larry's got something for you, Lizard Larry. Gonna give it to you, Lizard Larry. Gonna give it to you.
Yeah, it's been a long time since we've seen Lizard Larry. Do TJ Fishing says, I did 2 laps around Australia in a VW Combi. G-Webs wants to know, how long does a lap take? If you haven't gotten in on giveaway, I'll give you another minute. Hashtag FT350 to win the sticker and patch pack. And if you're a channel member, there's also a $10 Chick-fil-A gift card in there for you. So once again, # FT350. 350. Let's see. Rob D says, I like the idea of a bug, easy to fix, but would prefer an old Jeep instead. A real Jeep, I presume you mean. So we got 21 entries out there. We got 32 people watching this. By the way, we are also live this week. I have given up on Meta entirely. We are now live on Twitch and Rumble. We do have one viewer out there on Twitch, or at least we did anyway. May have been a bot, but at least we had a viewer out there. So, anyway, shall we go ahead? Shall we go ahead and do the drawing, folks? Is it time? Is it time?
I mean, if you must.
If I must, yes, I must. I'm kind of funny that way. So let's go ahead and do the drum roll, and then we'll draw a winner. And here goes the StreamYard giveaway wheel or tool or whatever you call it. Pack Rat's Attic is our winner this week. He's a channel member.
Congratulations, buddy.
Pack Rat's Attic didn't. I think Ms. Pack Rat won something last week. I tell you what.
Oh.
That family is just on a roll.
Mm-hmm.
Just have to call him Butter. I tell you what. Pack Rat's Attic, are you out there? Are you out there? He says, I'm here. All right. Very good. Very good, very good, very good. Congratulations. You are truly the winner chicken dinner. Very good. So congratulations to Pack Rat's Attic. He is a winner. I like to think everybody's a winner that comes on to Fowl Territory and stuff like that, but it's nice to see some people get some free stuff. Everybody needs free stuff. Danny says, doesn't that make it 3 weeks in a row to send it to Texas? Me, Miss Pack Rat, and Pack Rat. Yeah, and I'm heading to Texas this weekend. I should just bring it with me and hand it out when I get there, but you'd have to come to Round Rock and meet me. So that wouldn't work too good. That's quite a drive. But I am going to be in Texas this coming weekend. So going to see my siblings. So
Fluffy says he traded a 22 Tacoma for that 2500. Dude, if you were going to trade a Tacoma in on a full size, you should have kept it in the family and got the Tundra.
Well, heck yeah. Heck yeah.
Nothing but good things about those 20 teens Tundras.
You'd be surprised at how many frames have to be replaced on those.
I'm just saying, I've heard good things. I've
got a cousin who is a master mechanic for Toyota now. And in the little over a decade. Yeah, probably about a decade now that he's worked for the local Toyota dealer. I can't tell you how many times he's told me that they were doing a frame replacement under warranty at that.
Oh, what year?
They were all, again, they're under warranty. So, I mean,
so that'll be the newer ones.
What's that?
So that'll be the newer ones.
Yeah.
I'm talking about like early teens ones. Like they're supposed to run forever.
Well, it's not the running part that's the issue. It's the
I know. Yeah, there's problems.
Staying together part.
there's problems with the later ones. That's a known thing that the later Tundras have problems. But the early teens to the mid teens ones, they're supposed to run and hold up really well.
So it is time for Show Us Your GORN.
Oh, thank God he said GORN.
I did say GORN.
I was worried there for a second.
Well, they could show us your corn, I guess, if you want to. But
polio.
Yeah, show us your GORN. Send that in to, you can send it in by email to gorn@gizzardgary.com, or you can put it on my Discord server. Address is what's running down in the ticker below, discord.gizzardgary.com. You can do it that way. I haven't looked to see if we have any. I don't have any emails so far, so we may not have any GORN. It may not be a GORN kind of week. I do not see. What's that?
I said, no GORN. Justin Grimm's slacking.
Actually, I do have something from DM Foss that came in the middle of over this last weekend, actually. So let me go ahead and share my Discord screen. If I click the right button, it's one of these buttons down here. Must be this one. Anyway, if you're wondering about the smoking gun, there it is right there. I'm not sure what he was smoking in that gun. But I haven't seen Mr. Foss. Vulcan Rumble says, never met a Tacoma owner who was not happy. Fluffy says, the new Tundra has V6 with turbos in them. I want a V8. I couldn't find a used older one at the time.
Yeah, they did Toyota did away with their V8.
Guy that comments is out there. He says, short beds are the short bus version, but for trucks. I had a short bed once. I really liked it. The short bed Chevy. It worked great until I ran it out of oil and threw a rod. It wasn't very much fun anymore. Pack Rats Addict says, I refuse to get a full-size truck with a V6. Michael Dunn says, my mother had a Tacoma and traded it for a 24 Tundra. See, I have a nephew that works as a mechanic in a Dodge Ram dealership, and he says, I can't with any good conscience tell people to buy a Dodge or a Ram anymore. He said it's too much troubles, basically, and then once they get to about 100,000 miles, he said, get something else. He says, I have to work on them. So,
yeah, Dodge. You're good.
Better.
I was going to say Ram was going to go the same route Toyota did and do away with the V8s in their half tons, but so many people threw a fit that they brought back the Hemi V8 for the half ton.
Let's say, unfortunately, that's kind of the story, though, with anything that is American made in the auto industry, it seems anymore. Like, they have their issues. Chevy has a terrible electrical issue, and you can send it back to Chevy, and they can't figure it out. And you can find instance after instance online where people are having this happen. Dodge has always had an issue with transmissions, but lately, I think one of the things that they have been recalling a lot are just bolts for the manifolds snapping off. Ford, I don't hear too much about Ford, but I don't pay a whole lot of attention to Ford either. Ford, there was something they recalled not too long ago. I remember that.
Yeah, Ford, you'll get recalls, but it's nothing major like what you've been seeing with Toyota and Dodge and Chevy. It's usually something minor that if you don't get it fixed, it's going to be a minor nuisance. It's not going to be something that's going to kill your vehicle. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, but Ford don't do the recalls they should do. Like when they had those spark plugs blowing out and taking out the coil pack right on the spark plug.
Yep.
I mean, it's costing people thousands of dollars for a mistake that Ford made, and they wouldn't recall it.
And then you got to go. You have to have that friggin' plug hole rethreaded and everything else, and insert put in. Absolute nightmare.
So I do have some GORN that came in, so let me put that on a screen real quick. And this got sent to me by Hillbilly, but it actually looks like it was sent to him from Denny.
Yeah, actually
yesterday.
Last night, Denny, we were talking about the pollen, the sand, just all kinds of stuff. And he sent those in, but they didn't come through my email till after the
This
show.
was sent yesterday afternoon at 4:45. It says this was 2 hours ago. So middle of yesterday afternoon, the sky is solid now, saying 0 visibility. Wow. And there's more than this picture here. So that's the first one. So let me get that off the screen. I'll show you the next one. Give you a pretty good idea how bad it is. Or was, anyway. Look at that.
Man.
Wow. It's like a dust storm almost. It was literally a wall of dirt, Danny said. Yeah. I was in one of those one time in Oklahoma. I actually had a tumbleweed blow across the road in front of me. I just barely missed it. One of the scarier things I ever saw. And then let's see. We got another one here. Okay. In the second email. Well, come on. A silly thing. It's so big it's covering up my entire screen here. Hold on. Yeah, when it covers up your StreamYard screen, you can't even get to the buttons.
Oh no.
That's also from Denny. Wow. That's really something. G-Web says, scared of a tumbleweed, we dodge those all the time. This tumbleweed was taller than my car that I was driving at the time. Okay, and this last one's kind of funny. We'll go ahead and put it on the screen too. It says, live look, Odessa, Texas. Wow. Trying to figure out if there's a chicken in there.
Yeah.
That's not me, I don't think. A couple dogs flying out
the tumbleweed.
Yeah, there's your tumbleweed, all right. G-Web says, try putting up a dust-free zone sign in that bad visibility. I suppose that would work. Those were pretty good.
I heard that the dust was protesting peacefully with their firearms.
Denny says, we're not in Kansas anymore. Boy, that's probably right. Denny says, tumbleweeds are about the size of your car around here. I don't know. I suppose they might scratch your car if they hit it. I don't think they don't weigh anything, so they wouldn't knock your car off the road. But if you're trying to dodge them, you could have a wreck. The best thing would just be to let it hit your car, I suppose. But Rob D says that's never good. My friend lost a truck the same way. So, yeah, that's pretty darn scary stuff, I tell you what. G-Web says tumbleweeds are like a laundry basket around here. Oh, little tiny ones.
Yeah. There was my friends and I were walking through downtown Pittsburgh one time, and a tumbleweed went blowing across the street. We just stood there looking at it like, what the hell?
In Pittsburgh?
Yeah, we figure it must have came off of a train or something.
I was gonna
You know,
say,
because we don't have tumbleweeds. It's
not in the city
so-
proper, I wouldn't think.
No.
Let's put it that way.
It's like, where the hell did that come from?
Well, I sure hope one of you's whistled the Clint Eastwood deal when that happened. Yeah.
It was like, what the hell?
It's like one day when I was in high school, I can remember we used to get off for lunch. So a lot of times we'd get in our cars and drive around, go get lunch and stuff. And downtown, right about where the stoplights are in my city here, there was a steer that was just going straight up the center line of the highway. Just like he owned the thing, heading downtown. I'm like, I think he's lost. But we figured he came from, because we had a sale barn outside of town, about a mile outside of town. He must have got loose from there and decided he wanted to go into town and check out the city. So I think somebody finally got him. Then he says, yes, they will scratch your car, can break your lights or windows, but when they get lodged up under you and you drag it under your vehicle, it makes all kinds of strange noises. Yeah, it could probably tear stuff loose down there too.
I think the strangest animal thing like that I remember in Pittsburgh was a black bear that went across the Highland Park Bridge from the north side of the city over to across the Allegheny to basically where the zoo was. They think, or at least they said at the time, that they thought that the bear must have smelt one of the female bears that was in the zoo in heat or something and came to check it out.
Boomstick says, when I was young and full of mischief, we smashed a huge tumbleweed over an MG midget. It completely engulfed it. Wow. Yeah, those things were tiny. I drove one of those once. That's scary when I was downtown at the stoplights and there was a semi next to me and you could literally sit in the car and see underneath it. I'm like, this doesn't seem safe. Like you're driving a little kiddie car.
Basically what they were.
Yeah, but they'd get up and go.
You could fit a bunch of clowns in them, though.
Yeah, that's true. We had a few of those around when I was growing up. We had clowns. Yeah. And we may or may not have taken a car and put like 8 people in a car before. Yeah. Pretty sure we did, as a matter of fact. So 3 or 4 in the front and 3 or 4 in the back. Hopefully the ones in the back, if they had to sit on somebody's lap, hopefully they was girls.
I think we got 10 people in a geo tracker once.
Wow.
No, people were hanging out, but yeah, their bodies was in. Most of their bodies.
Pat Gratz Addict says, isn't that what a Chevette is? A little kiddie car? Pretty much. I know that thing. I could literally sit in the driver's seat, and if somebody come over to the passenger side, I could literally just reach across with my arm and roll down the right side window without even really having to lean over. I could reach a crank on that side and crank it down. Michael Dunn says, last year we had a moose just wandering across the whole state of Minnesota. Started south of Minneapolis and made it to the Canadian border. They had a Facebook site for the sighting of that moose. Well,
Moose on the loose.
Hopefully, if he went across the border, hopefully he had a passport and a real ID. Danny says, okay, enjoyed the discussion, but have to hit the sack. Night, folks. See some of you tomorrow night.
Night, Danny.
Night, Danny.
Rob D says, Gary got a lot of chicks in that car. 1 or 2. Maybe not the same time, but hey, that's a different story. You'd be amazed what you can do in a small car. Let's just put it that way. Yeah. But that was when I was 17 years old and still pretty limber. I couldn't even get in a small vehicle like that. Now it'd probably kill me. Let's see. TJ says, I had someone's pet emu in my backyard. Wow. You don't see that every day. Definitely not here. Defense Dad's out there. He says that moose was going to Canada for discounted prescription drugs. That's probably true. Vulcan Rumble says in New Hampshire and Maine, moose outnumber humans. Is that real? I don't know. Guess it could be true. Never seen a moose in real life, I don't think. I've never been in that part of the country to see mooses, mesas, or whatever you call them.
I've seen big old elk, but no moose. Which I guess I may have seen one in a zoo sometime, maybe. But
Well, they have elk in Missouri, don't they?
a few, mainly Arkansas, but in Colorado, we used to go out there and go elk hunting. And
It seemed like I used to hear about people going elk hunting in Missouri. Maybe I'm mistaken.
yeah, here in the southern part, some, but like really, it's a little better if you just cross the line on down into Arkansas a little ways. There's a little more of a population.
Ozzy said I had 2 geese in my front yard last week. That's interesting. Vulcan Rebel says only the coast of Maine is settled. I didn't know that. Michael Dunn says the only moose and elk I saw was in the zoo. G-Web says I saw wild moose in Wyoming. Never been to Wyoming.
I can't remember his handle right now, but he hasn't been putting videos out for a long time, but he was in Alaska. And he's
Alaskan
filming-
Ballistics?
Huh?
Alaskan Ballistics?
No, I can't think of his name. He like had CZ pistols and stuff. Like that may have been part of his handle or his YouTube channel, but like he showed elk just outside of his house, and like he's like they're very dangerous. He's like, and they had a Suburban out there, and there was 2 like smaller baby elks or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then the mama elk, and like you could see the back and head and everything of that mama elk over the Suburban was on the other side of the Suburban.
Wow.
They're humongous.
Yeah, elk are pretty huge.
We
don't have anything like that down here.
I can't remember that they were trying to take a car. They said if they got it fast enough, they could get underneath the moose or whatever and run under it before it would crush your vehicle. But you had to be going really fast, and so they were testing that. We got a couple more GORNs out here, folks. So let's take a look at this first one. And it is from, I am guessing this is Smoking Joe. It's someone named Joe anyway. And it says, changing headlights.
Oh my goodness.
Boy, that'd be fun to do all that, change a headlight. Maybe a joke. I don't know. But yeah, there's that. And then from Justin Grimm, we have this. Whoops, wrong button. Hold on. I swear I've done this before. Okay, and it says, what's worse than stepping on a Lego? And the answer is this. Definitely this. Yeah. That'd be kind of scary. Let's see. Packrat says, friends of my parents were killed by a moose when they hit it and it came through the windshield.
Yeah, man.
Michael Dunn says, there's a very talented artist in Alaska that paints a scenery on moose and elk antlers. G-Webs has driven into massive elk herds many times. Rob D says, this afternoon hit 60 and now it's snowing. That's about the way it was here the other day.
That's That's what it's doing here. There's a light coating of snow on the wife's Maverick out front.
We had 76 one day, and then the next day it got down to like 19 degrees and was snowing. It's incredible.
Yeah, we're supposed to get down to a low of like 24 tonight. It was 67 earlier today.
The defense dad says, my stepbrother was renewing their vows by a lake in Colorado, and we had to pause the ceremony. A moose center cub came out of the lake and walked through where we were. A guy that comments says, nobody tell the Chinese to make drones that look like Canadian geese. Boomstick says, well, in Ohio, we have the Moose Lodge. I'm assuming it's full of moose. Michael Dunn says, is George meowing? Gary, I am hearing a cat, and I keep thinking it's one of my cats. No, not George.
No, that's one of our dumb cats. Won't shut up.
G-Web says, drones should all look like pterodactyls. Interesting. Guy that comments says, meese can't kill you if you make it into breakfast patties. I suppose that's true. Mike McClune says it was 60 this morning. Now it's 25 and we got 3 inches of snow here tonight. I know they're talking about lots of airports having delays because of the storms. That and I got to fly Thursday afternoon, so I'm not really looking forward to this, but I guess a bunch of TSA agents aren't reporting to work because something about not getting paychecks or something like that. So that's causing a bunch of delays at TSA screenings. So I suppose I'm going to have to get the airport at dark 30 in the morning on Thursday. That'll be tons of fun.
I think I heard the news say something about they're on their second paycheck that they've not got or something.
Yeah. And I was looking out there on X, the Democrats were blaming the Republicans for not passing the bill. The Republicans are blaming the Democrats, and I guess they're just not, there's funding out there that isn't happening. So, Packrat's Addict says, I don't think Rich is a cat fan. He's certainly got enough of them. That's for sure.
No, that's the wife's fault, not mine.
Michael Dunn says it's 8 degrees and feels like -5. Yeah. That's no fun at all. But yeah, I fly out at, I think my flight leaves at 12:20. And since I have a 2-hour drive to the airport, I'm going to have to basically get up, throw my suitcase in the vehicle, and go. Don't sound like much fun. And be my luck, I'll get right through TSA and have to, the last time I was there, literally sit for an hour and a half at the gate waiting for my flight to leave. Because that's the way it works when you get there with plenty of time, you get right through TSA. But I guess I'd rather have that than get delayed. So, Fluffy says we have had 70s, 3 tornadoes, lots of rain, lots of snow, and now back down in the 20s the next few days. G-Web says airport wait times in Kansas are going to quadruple to almost 10 minutes to get through TSA. Well, to be fair, I'm going to a Missouri airport, so I'm going to KCI Airport. So, Defense Dad says Rich loves cats. He starts with the hind legs. They have the most meat. Is that true, Rich? Yeah. I don't want to eat cat. Alaska One Andy, he says it's going to be -23 tonight and -30s Tuesday and Wednesday. Yeah, I don't think too many of us can compete with you on the temperatures. That's for sure. G-Web says they say it may be 100 here tomorrow. Wow. We got extremes out there, that's for sure. And I believe Guns of Barbecue had a phone call or something he had to leave out. G-Web says, like a month early for that. Yeah, I've had to turn on my AC twice already this year, but just for one day. And then the next day I had to turn on the heat. It's the darndest thing I ever saw. Of course, March is good for that sometimes, so it's lots of fun. Packrats Addict says supposed to be almost in the mid-90s this weekend. Well, I'm headed down that way, so gosh. Rob D says people on spring break have been complaining about long lines at airports because of the shutdown. 5 hours in Houston. Yeah, I saw some pictures. They had a bunch of cots sit out in the airport for people to sleep in because they couldn't get their flights out. It's like, that'd be fun to have to sleep in an airport. Yeah.
It's no fun to sleep in there.
That's about as much fun as sleeping in the waiting room of a hospital, which I've done.
Got stuck in the Orlando airport when Hugo was hitting north of there. And that wasn't fun.
G-Web says, at least in Texas, whenever it gets hot, they hand out free Bluebell ice cream. Is that true? That'd almost make it worth it. Not really. Not really. Stephen Sheets says he's doing a live stream tomorrow. All right, everybody check that out. G-Web says it's state law about that ice cream. I had not heard that. Wow. The things you find out. Packrat says, I don't know, but I'll find out this year. Fluffy says the UP of Michigan has gotten feet and feet of snow in the last few days. And Stephen Sheets says, like I said, Rich White, happy birthday.
Thank you, Stephen.
Yep, he's going to keep having birthdays for a while until he's catching up with me. He's going to have to wait a while, though. So, anyway, give me 1 second.
Speaking of catching up, how close are you on X followers?
How what?
How much closer have you gotten on X followers? Speaking of catching up.
I am at 1,226.
Oh, you still got a way to go.
Yeah, I got a ways to go yet. Yeah. I pretty much gave up farming.
Yeah, I'm up to 3,337.
I wanted to get over 1,000 and to get enough verified followers to qualify for monetization. Of course, I don't have anywhere near that kind of viewing.
You gotta get 2,000 verified followers for that.
Yeah.
I've had a terrible time getting followers on the X, and I've been on there for a while. I mean,
it's tough. It's tough. There's a lot of accounts out there that say, you follow me, I'll follow you and stuff like that. And then if you do that enough times, I found out that X will catch up with you and they'll send you a little warning. Says, you're really not supposed to do that, guys.
Oh, I finally hit the 2K verified followers mark.
Wow.
Now I got to get the millions of engagement.
Yeah. I can't get the engagements. Nowhere near.
No.
I heard somebody say a while back that I thought this was really funny. X is the smoking area of the social media.
Probably right. Michael Dunn said, did anyone hear that Matt from Demo Ranch sold the ranch for $15 million?
Wow. It is for sale. So
very cool. Okay.
Yeah, you got 5 million impressions to get either revenue sharing or subscriptions.
Well, one thing I do like about X is, for us gun people, if there's like somebody that I'm affiliated with, if they got a sale on something, you can't share the link on Facebook or on Facebook either, but on YouTube. But right there on X, you can post a picture, share the link, everything, and it makes it a lot easier.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we are progressing to our last segment. What did you learn? So I'm going to ask my panelists what they learned, because after all, this is an educational show, or at least we try. So, Rich White, what did you learn?
That there's a lot of truck people in this chat.
There are a lot of truck people in it. I found that out. Yeah. Yeah. A lot of knowledge and a lot of background. It was a fun discussion. I didn't even know we were going to talk about that, but that ended up being a fun topic. Yeah. So, what have you got coming up on your channel?
Well, at some point this week, I'm going to do a first impressions box opening on this item that I got from Core Essentials.
You're doing impressions? Cool.
Yeah. And then this week Unloaded, Sunday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern on the Unloaded Media channel. So check that out too. You never know what we're going to talk about on there. And so, yeah, that's about what I got this week.
Alrighty. Well, thank you for being here. Let's go to Hillbilly Up. What did you learn, sir?
I learned that everybody's having crazy weather. It's not even just around here for sure.
That's right. Yeah. I hear another cat. All right. So what have you got coming up on your channel? You got lots of stuff going on your channel, right?
Yeah. See, tomorrow night we got our members only live show there, and we always have a good time there. My wife Ames, she's on here with me during that, and then I believe Wednesday, I got a video coming out with me and Scotsman shooting together. He had basically a death of a friend. About an hour or so north east of me, and so he come down and stayed for the weekend while he went to that, and so we got to shoot a video together Saturday. All of that coming out, and then I think I got another video maybe coming out this week. I have to look and see what it is, but yeah. And then Saturday nights we got Guns Bearing Therapy 9 Central, 10 o'clock Eastern.
Oh, all right. Well, that's cool. You got to meet up with Scotsman. Heck of a deal.
Yeah. Had a good time.
Very cool. Thank you for being here. Let's see. He also sold his house. I presume we're talking about Demo Ranch there. I kind of lost track. But yeah, so I lost track of what I was going to say. Must not have been very important. Oh, I have a impromptu meeting that just got communicated to me today, so I may or may not be on watching your show. I don't know when I'm going to get home tomorrow night, so if I can, I'll be out there in the chat, but it happens. But anyway, as for me, Wednesday night, it's going to be the night before I fly out of here, but I am going to try to go ahead and do my members only chat. I'm basically going to have to do that show and then go to bed. So, but I'm leaving Thursday and getting back Monday afternoon. So if I don't have any delays, I'll be back in time to do Fowl Territory next week. So, count on it anyway. You may not see. I don't know when I'll get it posted. It may be the last minute, and I may cancel at the last minute if I get home late. But at this time, we're going to try anyway. But yeah, I am going to be in the great state of Texas, flying out Thursday, coming back Monday. So we're going to spend some time with some family. So, but yeah, Fowl Territory, Monday nights, 9 o'clock p.m. And members only chat for my channel members, Wednesday night at 8:30 p.m. Like I say, if you all of a sudden find out you're no longer a channel member, again, I got rid of the 99-cent tier, so you will have to rejoin at the new Gizzard Gang, which is now $1.99. I know it's a big price hike, but you know, inflation, it's hitting everybody. So it even hits old Gizzard Gary sometimes. But anyway, hopefully we'll get everybody back here. So anyway, I want to leave you with this. If anyone tries to infringe on your right to keep and bear arms, give them the bird. And I'd like to thank everybody for watching. Everybody out there in the chat for your comments, everybody that sent in GORN, and a special thanks to all of my channel members for everything they do to support the channel. So we will see you next week. Guys, let's tell everybody goodbye, and we'll roll those end credits.
Goodbye, and we'll roll those end credits.
Good night, everybody. Y'all come back.
All right, good night, and we'll see you next time.